Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Morning After. We are sitting with somebody who is Emmy nominated, a 2-time champion on one of the most popular competitions on earth. Plus, she is a kick-ass mama. We were just talking about how adorable her baby is, 2-year-old boy. Here is Jenna Johnson, and I don't want to destroy your last name. Help me, please.
Chmerkovskiy.
Very good, Kelly.
That was really good.
God, how many people just destroy it, though?
So many. I mean, it's 13 letters. It's very confusing. But that was really good.
Thank you.
That was
That's
natural.
my big part. Like, to go from Jenna Johnson, which seems like a very easy name, to that.
Chmerkovskiy.
Is it a little bit like when you're on the phone with like people and they're like, how do you spell
your
that?
name?
Is it just a pain?
Yeah, my husband kind of warned me. He's like, good luck when it comes to customer service. Like anything on the phone, you're like, let me just spell it out for you. And it like takes 10 minutes to make sure all the letters are correct. But
I'm not going to lie. If someone said that last name to me and they're spelling it out to me, I would still have to repeat it like 4 times to make sure I got it right. That's.
But you know what? Love.
Yeah.
I was like, give it to me.
Give it
Yeah,
to me, baby.
give me all those consonants,
Yeah.
baby.
You know
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
Your last name has a lot of letters, and we do a segment. I'm going to segue this so well. That's called It's a Lot. So I would love to know right now, it can be anything, what is a lot for you?
This is going to be very superficial. So
Good.
We love
bear
superficial.
with me.
You're good.
But for any of the spray tan girlies out there, you'll know the struggle. So we just went to this Thunderbolts premiere, the new Marvel movie that came out. And I was like so excited about the dress that I was wearing, so stoked, but it was like hanging a little weird. And there was like this leaf right in the center. And I was like, you know what? Just freaking tape it to me. You know, for the look, we need to tape the leaf to my chest.
Okay.
So
No.
now...
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
So it's just like so much that I am now left with this
Oh, no.
for weeks.
So if you are not watching and just listening, she has
A full
Tape
strip
hurts.
in the middle of my chest,
Across your
from
chest.
double side tape. Yeah.
You know what, though? But it's
It's a
worth
lot.
it. It's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
At a
I was
premiere.
committed to the look.
Well,
Yeah.
the dress was banging. We were
We
just
did
talking
see-
about
yeah,
it
we did
before
see
we
the
got
dress.
here.
But yeah, and I've exfoliated a lot, and it's just kind of like
It's there.
Yeah, it like ripped off, I think, a full layer of skin. So
Oh, man. You know what? Spray tans, and I feel you've gotten spray tans.
Sure,
before.
of course.
Okay.
They're the
So,
best.
They're the best. The one problem I have with spray tans, well,
Okay.
there's a few, but the one main one is I feel like it gives you a smell, a stench,
does a little
if
bit.
you will.
Smell like
Not
sweaty.
a stench.
I don't think it's a bad smell.
Ooh.
Oh, you don't like it?
It's I don't know. And like the minute, and I like when I work out, I sweat. I don't know if
Yeah.
the fumes just come back, even if it's like 3 days later.
So here's a fun little tidbit. On Dancing with the Stars, we get spray tanned every Monday.
Oh my
Every
God.
Monday. I mean, it's like part of the gig, right?
Wait,
So
hold on. Just the professionals, or do the
I think
stars?
probably everybody.
everybody.
Y'all are
It's
all
open
stars
to
now. It's
everybody.
not with Dancing with the Stars. It's like
Well,
stars
no.
dancing with stars.
I mean,
You
but
are, though.
everybody, the
Yeah.
men, the women, everybody.
Well, and think about it.
a
You're
little
like
glow.
basically naked. You're
Yeah.
not trying to be pasty out there. So we get spray tanned every Monday before the night before the show. And then you're left with the next week smelling like it's a stench of like McDonald's meets swampy meets sprayed with some perfume. It's like a really weird cocktail of a mix. So I'm used to that. But no, you smell terrible.
And to your point, when you are learning these dances with your partner who had just gotten spray tan the night before,
yeah, you're up in there.
oh girl, and I'm bad with smells.
Yeah.
Like if someone smells, it's a problem.
Yeah, same.
And like smelling yourself is
Is
the worst.
The worst. And I feel like after pregnancy also my senses got heightened, like my nose. Ugh. So yeah.
Did the spray tan rub off on the white dress?
No.
I do think spray tans have gotten way better.
Oh yeah, I do it myself. Well, in the off season, I'll do just my own. Again,
Wait,
it's
how?
like with a mousse, but I have a whole system. Like you got to put on latex gloves first, so they don't tan the back of your hands. Like it's a whole thing.
You do-
But I love them. I do it
I'm
myself.
really impressed you do it yourself.
Come on over. I'll tan you.
Great, fantastic. I'm coming, butt ass naked. I'll be there because I don't want any lines.
You got it.
No, but it always takes me back to the Ross Friends episode when he's in
Oh,
that.
the teeth. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, if you ever need a bet, did we talk about this bet?
I can't
Sorry,
remember.
side note. If you ever need a bet of like, hey, loser has to do what so and so, what you should do is loser has to do basically what Ross did. You have to go in a spray tanning situation and only spray the front or only one side of your body.
Yeah.
How good is that bet?
Or put
That's a
just
good
double-sided tape on you and rip it off the next
Correct.
day.
Yeah.
You know what? Just put your initial right
Yeah.
on your chest, and then it'll all be good. All right. Well, we also know we want to get into Dance with Stars, how you met Val. Obviously, work relationship. Was HR involved?
Should have been. No. No, yeah. So we met on the show. I joined season 18, and I was the only new dancer joining the cast that season. So this was like my dream job I'd been wishing and hoping for. And in the very first rehearsal, I met everybody. They were so friendly. And I met Val, and he was just reeking like masculinity and like sex and just so hot. And I was like, I have got to stay focused. And then he's just like flirting with me the whole time. He was saying he always says that he was being chivalrous, but I'm like, okay. All right. We grew up differently. Anyway, but we ended up being paired together in that dance. And it kind of just started like there was just this weird connection, not only emotionally, but just like physically. And we loved dancing together. So that kind of started it. And then we tried to fight it. We tried to be on the low. We would always get caught. And I was just like, I don't want to get fired. He was also like the bachelor on the show. You know, he was getting all the hot
character.
actresses or the females or like this person, showmance is that. So
Showmance.
Oh,
I love that.
Of
I love that.
course.
Yeah.
But as much as we tried to fight it, we were just like drawn to each other
Yeah.
always. So
Was there any, because like you said, he was, had this just like sexual vibe about him. I think dancing in general is very,
super intimate.
yes. Were there any other, like when you were like before Val, did you ever date any other dance partners?
Yes. Not dance partners per se, but dancers in
Dancers.
general.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think, just because it's like,
Oh, well, I mean, like, I feel like
it's for a whole
chemistry.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, and just there's something about dancers. They know how to use their bodies.
Yeah.
They're just
Girl, I bet.
like, yeah.
can only imagine. You can see it on the stage.
And
You
I
can only
always
imagine
tried
off
to be
it.
like, I'm not going to date a dancer because it's just like so much of the same talk or the same circles. But I always ended up dating dancers. There's just something about them. You just like your body's physical. I'm very physical touch is a big thing for me. So like even just organically getting someone's presence.
Yeah.
It's just dancers are it for me, I guess.
I feel like y'all are kind of like actors and actresses in the fact of like they have to play a role, right? You have to
Yeah.
play a role when you're on these shows with these people, with these stars. Has there ever been any like jealousy issues? I think if I watched Matthew, because I mean, obviously we're not dancers.
Yeah.
And in an intimate setting like that, I feel like I would be like,
A little jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. It kind of comes with the territory of especially not being a dancer and coming into this world. I have so much empathy for the spouses or the partners that let their significant others do the show. You have to have a lot of trust. What I like to say is I have been dancing with a boy or a partner since I was 10. Doing the same moves, body rolls.
Yeah.
But they've always been my teammate. So just because Val and I fell in love, that's a completely different thing outside of it, right? It's part of the technique. It's part of the movement is to be so intimate and close.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like an emotional thing. So when I'm trying to approach it, I'm like, this is my goal. I need to teach you A, B, C, D. We need to look like we have chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to look hot. So I'm not going to dumb it down and look like a freaking robot.
Right.
That wouldn't be doing my job. I wouldn't be doing my best work.
Yeah.
But I always want to be sensitive and aware. So as much as I can bring my partner's spouse or partner into the situations, be like, come watch rehearsal.
Right.
Because
Be a part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I'm yelling at this guy nonstop. Just like, bro, no, hand, fix it, elbow up, So like what you see in the performance,
Yeah.
that's a week's worth of me drilling whoever I'm dancing with,
gosh.
So I think the visual is hard. It's so abrasive at first.
Yeah.
But it's artistry. It's
Yeah.
part of the art. It's like you said, actors, actresses, when they go into these intimate scenes, they're playing a role. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing a character. I'm fulfilling the dance moves, the technique. So
I think when you have two professionals who know that that's the case, it's definitely probably easier for you to see him up there with different women. But like, again, for me, if my husband was out there, you'd be like, first of all, she's fucking hot. She can move her body.
Right.
And here I am like, but I mean, the best you can do is invite the spouse in,
Yeah.
have her be a part of it.
And I think
That would be
Val and I
tough.
also have a really awesome situation where my husband is on the show doing the same thing, you know? So for us, we have that trust in ourselves, but I think even for like my partner's spouses or significant others to be like, oh, her husband's doing this as well. Like, this is their life. This is what they do. So, but it is hard. It is very intimate, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling a role.
Do you feel like with all the different partners that you've had, are there a particular group of people that are easier for you to work with? I mean, obviously you won with an Olympic skater, so a skater knows how to perform and knows how to move their body. Or like our good friend Danny Amendola was on, and I didn't expect him to be so good.
I did not expect him to see that good.
Football player, but
Athletes.
he kind of rolled into it. So
athletes?
yeah.
But then I feel like you guys get some football players that can't move.
Yeah, but I think it's all about the training process and being used to like not taking things personally.
Being coached.
Yeah.
Being coached, showing up for long hours, having somebody having your best interest and maybe critiquing you, not on a personal front, but being like, I want you to excel in dance. So fix this, and you're going to look amazing. And I'll be like, oh, my ego, you know? So I feel like athletes really love to do the process, be critiqued, get better.
Yeah.
Have that grind. Sometimes I think it's hard for, hot take, but maybe actors or actresses to jump into this role. First of all, because it's live. That's very difficult for them because, you know, so they get multiple takes in a scene.
Yeah.
Where this is, you get one chance.
And that's it.
And you're now yourself dancing. And not like a character where you get to talk. This is your body moving.
Yeah.
And this is like, how does this person move?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like athletes, that's why they excel so many times.
Because they do get
On the
one
show.
shot. I mean, like, they get one game. You know,
Yeah.
it's like one of those things. That's very...
And they're
I
used to
never thought
being
about
like
that.
on a team. And even though it's just one other person, like that's your teammate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. All right, so you find Val. You guys can't fight it off. Which I love. I think that's a
Whirlwind
great,
of a love story.
I mean, I'm sure there's some ups and downs in there, as there are to all love stories. But then you get pregnant.
Yeah.
And if you're okay with it, I've gone through infertility struggles. I now have 4 beautiful daughters, so I'm grateful for everything leading up to it. But it is public that you had a miscarriage.
Yes.
And it was while you were dancing in Dallas, correct?
Yeah.
Can you go into that just a little bit, if you don't mind?
No, for sure. It's funny because International Dance Day was actually yesterday.
Happy International Dance Day.
Yes, thank you. But I've had such a crazy experience with dance because it was my first love for sure. I started when I was 3. I've never wanted to do anything else other than dance. It's just been everything that I've ever wanted. And so, yeah, I had this hard time getting pregnant, and I was so confused, so frustrated at my body because it's always been my secret weapon. This is how I express myself. So there was many interesting things happening mentally for me when I was going through this infertility. And then we ended up getting pregnant after like a year and a half, and we were just beyond excited, and we were practicing for a show. And everyone had seen us. We were rehearsing the day at the hotel, and people were so excited about this gala that we were going to be performing that night. And Val and I were downstairs in the ballroom rehearsing, and I felt it. I knew something was wrong, and I was like bleeding a ton. And so we ran up to the hotel, and I ended up miscarrying. I watched it happen. And it was devastating. It was really, really hard, really confusing. Because also I hadn't really talked to anyone that had gone through a miscarriage up until that point. And so I didn't know what was happening with my body. I was just so confused, so devastated. And I hated dance for a while. I didn't want to dance because I felt like it took my baby away. And obviously, you know that there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to prevent it, really. It was just a bad egg. And so it took me, though, 6 months worth of therapy to really get out of this rut. And I just had all this envy towards dance. And then I'd also, I wanted to take a break from the show. I wasn't feeling inspired. And everything always happens for a reason, because right after that, we decided to take a break from trying because I needed a sec. I wasn't mentally there. And that next season, I was approached, and I thought I wanted to take a break from Dancing with the Stars. And they actually approached me and they were like, hey, we are going to be doing something really exciting this year. We're going to have the first same-sex pairing, and we want you to dance with a girl this year. And I was just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I just immediately was so overwhelmed and overcome with this feeling that I needed to say yes. And so I did, and that season I ended up dancing with JoJo Siwa, and it was one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. It was just like a challenge. It brought back the light and the love I had for dance. And so it's just weird. Dance has always, I feel like, saved me in so many different areas of my life. And then, right after that season, we ended up getting pregnant naturally. And it's crazy. It's wild how it all happens. Timing.
You know it, and I couldn't imagine what you were feeling, because in a moment you lost probably two of the things you love most.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
To come out of it, I'm sure felt, and to be pregnant after going through that next season with now your 2-year-old baby boy Rome, right?
Yes.
How did you come up with that name?
Val came up with the name, actually. We knew once we found out it was a boy that we wanted like a really romantic name. And Italy in general has just had has been so special for us in our relationship. We had in our dating relationship, it was a little rocky. We had this big breakup, and after we got back together, the first place we went to for a trip was Rome. And I just felt like we fell in love. Oh. No one knew that we were there. We were just like in our own bubble, and we really like rooted ourselves in our relationship there. And then we got engaged in Venice. So Italy has just always been part of like our love story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it just felt like the perfect name. I really wanted Roman, but the way that it translates in Russian, because my husband speaks Russian, he didn't like it. And so he was like, no, it just needs to be Rome. And
I like
obsessed.
it. It's strong.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I love it. And now, okay, so your husband is Ukrainian,
Yes.
correct? I mean, and you are from, tell us, where are you from?
I was born here.
Okay.
But I grew up in Utah.
Okay.
And then I've been out here since I was 18 years old. So the past 12 years.
Listen, girl,
Dating myself?
We're older than you, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But I will say there's got to be cultural differences, yeah?
For sure.
Like,
Our wedding was legit West Side Story. It was hilarious.
Okay, can you give us a little bit of intel on that? Like, give me some of the differences.
So many things. I think something that's always connected us is family is our whole world. It's the center of your universe. And so something immediately when we were even just dating, we just both had that in common of like, we're really, really close with our families. But for example, he has one other brother. I'm one of 6.
Oh my gosh.
So
and where do you fall?
I'm 5th. And so, yeah, I come from this huge, huge family. And
I'm sorry, really, any other dancers?
yes, I have 2 sisters. That's how I got into dance. My 2 older sisters are dancers.
Okay.
So I have, at our wedding, my grandfather gave a toast and he was like, today, and this was 6 years ago, so it's probably even more now, but he was like, Val is the 100th member of our side of the family.
Oh my God.
Just from my grandparents down. Wow. And Val has like 10 people in his family that we know of.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really, really awesome because I was so scared seeing these 2 worlds collide. Like a lot of them had never met before. And so I was like, what's going to happen? It's going to just be chaos. Are they going to get along? And somebody has a video from our reception. I need to find it. But I think it was actually Mark Ballas. He took it and he like pans to this side and my family is like so proper, all of my aunts and uncles, and they're like sitting watching the dance floor go crazy. And then you turn to this side of their family, everyone's just like twerking and dancing and drinking, and it was just like the best night of our lives.
I love it.
To see these crazy worlds come together.
That is... Wait, you mentioned the dance floor, and I had to say something. If I went to a wedding of 2 professional dancers
wouldn't
and
even
all
get
their
near the
friends,
dance
all
floor.
their families are dancers, I mean, how do you have the confidence to get out there?
Here's the weird thing.
Do you guys pull us out? Is that what happens?
Yes, but here's also the other thing. I think everybody thinks that when we're in like a public setting, like a wedding or something, that we're just like whipping out New Yorkers and stuff.
Right,
or like
right.
No, we're just like grinding like everybody else, you know?
Your
we just
grind
want to
is
like
so much better than mine, though. I just know it.
So then you see these viral videos of these weddings where like the father of the bride and they do these dance and you're just like, really? I mean,
Well,
Wait,
no,
tell me about your
because-
father-daughter dance.
Yes. So everyone was like, you and Val are going to dance at your wedding, right? For your first
Oh,
dance.
wow, I
Sure.
didn't think about the first dance.
I was so bugged that everybody had this expectation of us putting on a show.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's our profession. We just want to be real people on our wedding day and slow dance. Like, when do we ever get a slow dance with each
Yeah.
other, you know, like intimately? So I was really adamant about it. So we decided to slow dance to our song, which is Livy and Rose. And I had no idea, but Val surprised me by playing the violin live for us. So we like slow danced, and then he like all of his groomsmen sat me down and he played, and I was just like, what's that? Sobbing. But also my father and I, we had a surprise dance because if you know my dad, he is the best human in the world, but like does not want to be the center of attention, has no dance experience, like is a surgeon from Utah, but he and I had practiced this dance for like months, and it was to Uptown Funk, and he was
Stop
like
it.
down.
and he pulled it off.
We almost canceled like 10 minutes before the reception because he was like a little stressed. So was I. And, you know, we did it. And Val was, nobody knew. No one knew except for my mom. Everyone was so shocked, and it was the highlight of most of our guests'
I love that.
experience at our wedding. It was
love
just so
that.
fun. So yeah,
Such a
that was like our
memory.
dancing because I was like, we are not doing a choreographed waltz right now. Like, absolutely not.
I love that.
We do that for a living.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean, you said it
created a
right.
moment.
When do you get to slow dance with your husband? Like, never.
Never.
Guys, every morning now I wake up, I grab a water, I put Cure electrolytes in there, I shake it up, and I start my day with that. I think it's really important because 75% of Americans are dehydrated. And honestly, I was one of them before I started drinking Cure. I love their strawberry kiwi, their lemonade, and also their tropical punch, but they have a bunch of different flavors. It is only 25 calories per serving, and there's no added sugars or artificial sweeteners. It's the cleanest way to stay hydrated. And dehydration is the most common symptom of fatigue, headaches, brain log, and dry skin. So we want to stay hydrated. There's so many benefits of doing that. This is why I love starting with Cure. Hydration goes beyond just drinking water. It's about replenishing the electrolytes we lose through sweat, sleep, alcohol, and daily activities. Water alone, again, is not enough to do the job. That's why you need to try Cure, the electrolyte drink mix that tastes as amazing as it makes you feel. For our listeners, Cure is offering 20% off your first order. Stay hydrated. Feel your best by visiting curehydration.com/Kelly and use the promo code Kelly at checkout. That's Cure, CURE, hydration.com/Kelly, and use that code Kelly for 20% off your first order.
Well, I would even think, just and as a gay man saying this, because I thought it was great when you danced with JoJo, and that did so much for that show but you had to experience a little bit of hate. I mean, if you look at the social medias for anything anybody does, people are firing stuff off.
You know, it was so interesting. She was the first celebrity announced, like weeks before anybody else was announced that she was going to be on the show. And it was also made very apparent that she was going to be dancing with a female. But they didn't say it was me yet.
Okay.
And
But you
so
knew.
I knew.
You knew. Okay.
Leading up to that, though, so when they announced her and saying that she was going to dance with the girl, there was so much negativity online,
Yeah.
especially around that. And I'm looking back now, I'm like, this is an 18-year-old girl who's standing up for a community,
Yeah.
you know,
At 18.
at
realize she was
18
that
and
young.
taking
That
this
young.
on and willing to and wanted to because she knew how powerful that
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as soon as we did our first dance, there was only support.
Oh, wow.
It was
great.
nuts. And I think
Yeah.
there was like this, everyone always overly sexualizes dance, I think,
Sure.
to an extent. But I think people really got to see this partnership and this power and this art,
Yeah.
you know? And so that's why that season was one of my most fulfilling seasons I've ever had on the show, just because it was way more than dance.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so, so grateful that I got to be part of that and to be partnered with somebody so young who inspired me of like, I'm going to stand up for
You had 18.
what I feel is right.
She's
Yeah.
young. That is
kick ass.
wild. Well, you know, dance obviously has a lot to do with your body.
Yeah.
And having a kid, I mean, I know I experienced this. Like, my body was rocked. I had twins, and I have an athletic build.
Yeah.
But you know, even 6 months after having my twins, I would look down and I wouldn't recognize myself. And I went through like a really hard time with that. I think when you look at a person in the mirror for, gosh, I was 27, 8 years, I can't remember. And then all of a sudden, that person from the neck down looks incredibly different. It can be hard, and when your career. So it needs you to be in shape.
Revolves around my body,
yeah, and you have to show a lot. Like, what was that like for you? Did you have any kind of postpartum body situation or things that you were concerned about?
It's weird. Yes and no. I think I was really active my whole pregnancy. I think also I had hoped and dreamed of being pregnant for so long that I was so in the moment and not scared of the craziness that was happening to my body. Mm-hmm. But I worked out up until I think like 3 days before
good for you.
I gave birth. Mm-hmm. And then getting back into shape, I think dance got me back into shape.
Yeah.
Again, it took me a minute. I was not the same. I was a little bit softer, not as toned for a while. But I think just because my body's been so used to being so active, and because I made sure to be so active during pregnancy, I really felt like I was able to get back. I feel like my hips are a lot wider. Obviously, my son's head was ginormous. But yeah, I wasn't as scared of it.
Okay. Do you do any other now? Dance, yes, we all know that's an incredible workout. Do you do anything else?
I am very, very active. Yes.
Tell us.
I love to work out. I just do. I love to incline walk. Sounds so lame, but it's like the best workout.
Beast.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of 3-12-30?
No, what's that?
Okay. It's 12 incline, 3 speed for 30 minutes, and it's just like will destroy you. I love Pilates. I love trying new things physically. It's just, I think my body constantly needs to be challenged. It really makes me happy. Dance for me isn't, I would say, like such a hardcore workout. Obviously it is. You're active, you know, it's stamina and everything. But I need to also supplement on top of that, you know, with something else to make me feel like, physically
Dance
fulfilled.
has become like this whole workout thing, though, like Tracy Anderson method, like all these things are very dance-based.
I feel like a lot of
crazy how much.
I feel like a lot of dancers are transitioning into fitness, which makes so much sense. But I do love those methods.
Every muscle in your body. It's
full body experience for sure.
Yeah.
I wish I could dance, like dance.
I'm sure we could get you to dance.
Well, we're gonna talk about
We
that.
should bring Val in here.
I'll tell you, because
We're gonna talk about this
Kelly,
later.
as a college cheerleader, I mean, you know, being thrown in the air, doing the flips, all that stuff. It's very much, you know, that when you have somebody who like can do that kind of stuff, that's just like, so our good friend Nastia Lukin was on Dance with the Stars, and Nastia was, you know, obviously a gymnast, and the stuff that she could pull off. That's a lot of the stuff.
She's
so
but gymnasts
stunning.
are graceful too. I'm the opposite of graceful.
Yeah, but do you know how hard it is to teach somebody who doesn't know how to do flips to do a flip?
Yeah, no,
You're
I
already
wouldn't.
flipping.
But
I do not want to
are
be
you flipping?
stunted. I would literally shat myself.
I
like,
wouldn't honestly suggest it, to be honest. Because you get dropped down your head a
PTSD.
lot, then you can't remember words in a podcast, and it's all
we
these
talked
things.
to Nastia a lot about that mentality, and
Yeah.
as you mentioned with an athlete, she approached that just like she did in Olympic competition. She's just like, I was so focused. I knew every week I had to do this. You're used to. She was doing it back and forth from New York at the time.
Oh yes, I
She was
remember.
practicing
You're
in
so
New York and then
right.
flying just for the competition, and she was like, but I was like, vroom, like. It's hard to teach somebody who doesn't have that. Like, if you're just like a reality TV person or
Probably
whatever,
like a competitive nature.
you have to
Yes,
have a
you
competitive
have
nature
to.
in order to go all the way.
Do you get paid more for winning?
No.
You don't. Ego, though. You want to win.
Oh yeah.
You want to
You're
win.
paid double.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't get paid more?
you
Are you
all
practicing
get-
more?
Not if you win. If you all, so whoever makes it to the finale, you all get paid up until then, and you do get a nice bonus.
So if you lose the first round, you don't get paid for the next couple rounds.
You're guaranteed until a certain amount of weeks. I think there's
Got it.
different contracts, so I can't speak for everybody.
Got it.
But so if you make it all the way to the end, you're getting paid the whole season, which is amazing, and you get a bonus on top of that for making it to the finale. If you win, it's not like you win $1 million and split it with your partner. You're just getting a cute trophy together.
And do you ever have any say in who your partner is?
No.
You don't?
No.
They come to you and say, this is who you've got.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And they really, really, and I do appreciate this, they really want to keep it a secret until you meet them live. Like, they want that genuine reaction.
Yeah.
So I think people always think we know who we have and we're keeping it a secret. Absolutely not. They do not tell us. They really don't even want us to know the cast. It gets leaked a lot, but they want it very hush-hush until you walk in and you meet your partner.
You don't have to name it, obviously, but have there been people that you got that you thought, oh, this is horrible?
I'm gonna be out
like
the first
right
week.
away.
Absolutely.
Anybody that you'd like to mention?
No.
Or better this. Do you have a dream partner? When you look at the acting and talent landscape out there, do you you're watching Yellowstone and you think you know what, he'd be great? Or
We should have come up with like a group and let her pick one.
oh god,
I
we're
have
so
one-
bad at this.
Her name is Kelly Stafford. She'll
Yeah,
be
Kelly
next.
Stafford would be great.
No, I do have one. I have one that I want to keep hush-hush because I'm really wanting to put it out that he's going to be on next season. I'd really, really love him.
Give us a clue.
An Olympian.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But there is also one that would be like my dream, and I just think he would be so good on the show, obviously. Jason Kelsey.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
watch the season with David Ross, Grandpa Rossi?
Yeah.
The
yeah,
baseball?
Yeah.
He was like an older dad.
Yeah.
People,
Jason Kelsey's an older dad.
Well, he's how old?
but listen,
Yeah.
not
He's-
like old, but he
old
wasn't
enough.
like 30.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm completely gonna let him know you.
He was
like, you're an
David
old dad.
Ross was so entertaining to watch. Not a dancer, but he got second on Dancing with the Stars. Baseball player, just like people loved watch because he was just down.
And he's
He
got
was-
personality. So you look at him
Yes.
aesthetically, and you might not see
Yes.
samba dancer, but you think he's gonna put on a
Guess what?
show.
I'm sure I could have Jason Kelsey rip open his shirt and he'll be like, yeah, sure. And they'll be like, can you do the room? He's like, probably. We'll try to do it. Like, that's the person you want.
Yeah.
Who's just open and willing and down to be like,
Yes.
let's freaking do this. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm not going to take myself too seriously.
Yeah.
I just
And
want
he
to
could
dance
make-
and have fun.
He could make fun of it, yes. I would rather see Amendola ripping his shirt open, which
That
he did a
was
few
great,
times, and it
too.
worked.
He
but
not wear a shirt half the time.
no,
I also
he
made
had
my partner
moments.
rip open a shirt 4 times. So
Which
you
one?
got to Joey.
Okay, yeah.
You gotta get the audience involved.
You
I
gotta
get
give
that.
the people what they
Yeah, they want a
want.
little
What do the
sizzle.
women have to do though? The women can't rip their shirts
They're
off.
already half naked anyway.
Yeah,
What
we
do we do
basi-
to umph the crowd?
Did you already see that move she did? She's ready. She's ready.
You know what women love
She's
to do?
wearing a leotard
We
right
love
now.
to do a costume reveal where you're wearing
Oh,
something
yeah.
and then you're like, wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah,
'Cause I
plus-
Were you on when Aaron Andrews was co-hosting? Was that
Yes.
yours? Okay, yeah,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
I love
Aaron's
Erin.
a good friend of Kelly.
When is she doing that again? That was
She was
She
on
was
when
with
I
Tom
started.
Bergeron.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
it was
on
early
Tom.
on, right?
It was like
Season 16.
What
Yeah, she
season are they on?
This is going to be
30.
34.
No, it's not.
Wow,
How
yeah.
many seasons are there in a year?
1.
No.
There used to be 2, though.
Oh God, I was like,
So
it's been on since I was little.
this year we're going to be celebrating 20 years.
wow.
Yeah, so this is a big
The
one.
longevity of that. Other than Survivor, I can't think of another show that has within the
Keeping
kind
Up
of
with the
reality
Kardashians.
competition.
But what's
yeah,
interesting, I feel like
true.
especially after last season, there's a resurgence. It's even more on demand. This Dancing
Why
with
do
the
you?
Stars.
Why do you?
We
Why
heard
do you? We
that.
were talking
We were
about
just
that. Why
talking
do
about
you
that.
think that is?
I really think social media had a big deal to do with this last
Yeah.
season. I think also the characters that we had Alona Mar, we had a Danny Amendola, we had Joey, the Bachelor, we had Steven, who was the hero of the Olympics. It was
The
such a good
casting
cast.
was good. Yeah.
It was so good. We had Anna Delvey,
Yeah.
Convict. It's just our casting director, Dina Katz, she did such an incredible job. And so, but then again, I also think social media, we were going viral on TikTok every week with something. you know? So I think we have a new generation who's getting interested in Dancing with the Stars, where it used to be like moms and grandmas. But now it's like the younger
people.
kids want to tune in too. They want to like see what the new dance trend is. It's nuts.
Like, what's the new dance trend? I mean, do you tend to, when you are, because do you choreograph these routines yourself?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you don't get paid more when you make it further. I feel like choreographing is insane. That's a lot of time.
I'll pay you later for saying that.
You're welcome.
But there's people who
No, we do it ourselves.
You do it
choreograph it.
yourselves,
Yeah.
100%. That is a lot of work.
And how many dance moves are out there? That's a lot of
And you
dance
do
moves.
how many dances up into the final? Is it 10 weeks?
It is 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And then between, I think, like week 4 or 5, you start to incorporate 2 dances a week. So, yeah.
Wow.
There are no days off. It's
Do you and Val
grind.
like get together and try and choreograph?
yes.
Okay.
It is. See, that's why I'm so
Yeah.
happy that I get to. It is very interesting working with your significant other, but there are so many perks when it comes to the show.
Pause. Go back into that because
Okay.
I can only imagine going to work with my husband every day. I love him so much.
Yeah.
But
You'd
if
probably kill each other.
I mean, like during the off season, we're together like a lot, and that's an adjustment. But I can imagine going to work and then he's there again. Like, please tell me.
It's really interesting. And honestly, I do have to say I'm so proud of myself and Val because there's no handbook on how to work with your spouse 101. Also, when we joined the show, we were both kind of alphas as individuals, and very passionate about dance on our own. Now we've kind of been paired of like Jenna and Val and Jenna. We work together a lot. We dance, we perform a lot together, but we're our own identities, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we have to choreograph together, I think my way is better a lot of the time. He definitely thinks his way is better a lot of the time. So it's interesting having to accommodate one another, but it's actually so amazing because when we're working well together and we have good communication and we each like take a second, and I think that's why we're so we create magic together, and we've found a good system. But yeah, he just inspires me to be so much better than I am. I feel like I've learned so much from him. When I joined the show, he was a pro and I was just on troupe. So I really felt like I had a couple of seasons that he took me under his wing and showed me the ropes, and I got to learn firsthand, like, what to do, what not to do. And then we started creating together, and like even the fact that we were nominated for an Emmy together for our own choreography.
Dance,
like what other couple
That
is to
is-
say that, you know? So, but it is funny. Like I always try to tell my mom,
Wait, hold on. Whose dance was it? Was it yours or his? More yours, more his.
both of ours. I would definitely say that was split. But you know, like my dad, he's retired now, but he used to be a hand surgeon. And I was like, Dad, can you imagine if Mom were over your shoulder being like, Kurt, too thin.
Wrong.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
Stitches were too close together. You should do that again. Like that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
crazy.
cheers to y'all because that is that would be really hard, and
Yeah.
y'all seem to do it very well, and it actually builds your chemistry instead of destroys it, which I feel like a lot of couples wouldn't be able to do that.
We've had to figure it out.
Yeah,
but-
well, good for you. I mean, again, could you imagine?
Yeah. I would go crazy. But when you've been on this national spotlight, you've been on the stage for so many years. Obviously, you get approached by so many other opportunities come your way beyond dance.
Yeah.
Do you think about your next step after dance? It's like hard to believe, like Dancing with the Stars, eventually for you, may want to come to an end. Do you think about what you want to do professionally after that?
For sure. Also, I think as just being a woman, I'm not delusional about the fact that my body's not going to last forever.
Right,
you know,
right.
as a excellent dancer, I've always had a dream of doing Broadway. It's really, really a big passion for me, like a next chapter. I've been really just doing live TV, which I love, but there's nothing like performing for a live audience on stage.
Yeah.
So I really would love to at least dabble in that as well. Like Roxy Hart would be my dream job.
Yeah.
But also I love hosting. I really love that. I love choreographing, and that I can do for hopefully as long as that.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be able to do it not only for TV, but for film. One of my biggest inspirations and my mentor, Mandy Moore, she choreographed La La Land. I'd love to tap into that. Also, something about executive producing really gets me excited, like on a creative show, like a Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance, something where it incorporates dance, but also producing. I'd love to venture into that route, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man, you've really thought about this.
oh yeah.
We have this debate a
gotta
lot,
think about my
and because
future.
you are the elite pro, I have to ask. Beyond the professional dancing landscape, when you think entertainers,
Okay.
who do you think are the elite dancers? Because we debate about
Who
the
do you-
pop stars of
Oh
our.
my gosh, I cannot believe you're asking this
I
question.
want to know. I want to
Wait.
know. Kelly does not think Britney Spears is a good dancer.
Please
and
back
I
me
think
up on
Britney
this.
is a very good performance dancer.
that's
I
different.
Yes.
You said dancer.
Again, we're not talking about
She's
a
an-
trained dancer. None of these people are like
No one,
Juilliard
like,
dancers. Nobody
She
can like.
did the iconic Slave for You. Like, that was a dance. She was choreographed. Would I say that, like, if you made her improv, I mean, you've seen her
it.
Instagram.
Yeah. Oh my
don't-
God, I'm so worried about it. Those knives, they're too close.
Listen.
Who
But,
do you
like-
who do you like? Who do you look at and you're like, wow, she's a singer by profession mainly, but wow, this woman can really
Well,
go.
I'm going to Cowboy Carter tonight.
Oh, I
so
knew you were gonna say
I was
it.
gonna say
She
Beyonce.
thinks Beyonce.
Beyonce's,
Okay.
but let's not sleep on Sierra.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true, very
Sierra's
true.
baller.
Oh my goodness.
But like I
and
haven't
honestly,
seen her
like,
dance in a while. On stage
she
at
just
least.
did Coachella and it was whew.
Oh, I didn't do it. Damn
I
it.
didn't go, but I just saw videos and I'm obsessed with her. Also,
She's got her.
like
she's got it back. I mean, I remember before. I mean, I feel like
Tate
she
McRae.
What?
Tate McRae.
Who's that?
What?
I don't know.
producer's
I'm
laughing.
old.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
I'm old.
Tate McRae?
I-
Okay, I'll play her song later. But she's like
oh my
a
God,
full
everyone's laughing at
dancer.
us.
Kiki's laughing at
Oh
us.
no.
I'm
okay.
old.
Is she a
and-
singer?
Chris Brown?
Chris Brown.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Avi.
Yeah. I'm
Bruno
old
Mars?
and Bruno Mars.
yes.
Wait, who else?
Usher.
Oh,
Usher.
obviously.
And I say this with love, and you're gonna probably just. Oh, she's familiar.
she
she
just
looks-
did the big trend right up my
She looks like a really young Barbara Streisand.
What do
word.
you think about the backup dancers?
They're amazing.
Yeah, they are good.
They should be paid more.
Yes, they should. Pay them more.
So I'm old, and I'm from Detroit. So my heart is with Madonna. When you think of like a dancer, like, do you think Madonna was a good dancer?
I feel like Madonna's an.
Performer.
I think she can
She
perform
was gonna
dance.
say icon.
But she's an icon.
Let her be an icon. What about like a Janet Jackson? I'm trying to think of
how
like
did we forget Janet?
Yeah,
yes,
Janet.
obvious. Oh my goodness.
That's all I needed.
All right, then I have one
Yes.
more question for all the moms out there
Please.
whose kids are getting involved in dance. And everyone's seen the Dance Mom show, or like you've heard about it. This is now like every sport, though. It's really not just dance. Like
Yeah.
cheer, cheer, gymnastics, basketball, soccer, whatever sport your kid is doing. There's crazy moms. I'm usually one of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I always say this to my defense. I have 4 out of the 5 on the field, so like that's my defense. I'm always yelling because one of them has the ball.
Yes.
Or I'm yelling them to go get it. So, in your experience with your parents,
yeah.
did you like you grew up dancing? Did you
Yeah.
go to like an
A studio.
A studio.
Yep. Very competitive studio.
Okay, very competitive studio. Can you
Just for example, Derek Huff, Julianne,
Oh, shit.
myself, Whitney Carson, Lindsay Arnold, Riley Arnold,
This is in
Ezra
Utah?
Sosa. We all came from the studio.
Oh my God.
Ezra,
It's like the Disney
Brandon.
Channel of dancing.
It's just this mecca of dance there.
did you
Did
do
they
like
all
the
grow
team?
up there, or did they move there for the dance program?
No, we all randomly grew up there.
Wow,
but
that's
it's just like
Utah just
Crazy.
produces dancers.
it's just really is
in the
one
water.
of the best hubs of dance, and I'm so glad because
Yeah.
I feel like I got the best training ever.
wow.
At
Well,
a
and
young
I also
age.
feel like your parents were busy because there were 7 of you.
Six
Six
yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
Bless their souls.
My goodness, I can imagine. But were your parents ever like the crazy dance parents or the crazy
No.
sports parents? I shouldn't even say dance because every
No, thank goodness. My dad had no idea what was ever going on. He was just like, "Do your best. Here's the check."
dad. So,
I know.
here's the check.
I'm like, "Dad, I need a new ballroom dress, and it's like $2,000." He's like, "What are you doing?" And my mom and I are like, "Please," but no. Thankfully, my mom wasn't that like on the sidelines, like Jenna, smile, smile. She was always again. She wasn't a dancer, but my sisters were, and my sisters were my coaches.
They were,
How much
yeah,
older were your sisters than you?
I have one that's 3.5 years older than me, and then one that's 11 years older than me.
Whoa.
So they were my dance moms. And so, like, if I ever mouth off to them, I was going to get it handed to me. So thankfully I had them, and I can't imagine having it any other way. So my mom never had to worry or feel like she needed to be that person, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've encountered some absolutely psychotic dance moms.
I can. So the key to not being the crazy sports parent is to have 6 children.
Have an older sibling for sure.
Well, you've got 4 down. You just have to crank 2 more out.
I'm out. I'm
2
done.
more.
Yeah,
I'm out.
done.
I'm
Twins.
so
Done.
done. Nope, did that.
Yeah.
Not going back there. Talk about a body change. My goodness. All right. Well, I think our time's up, but we so appreciated having you on and getting
Thank
all
you.
the
This was
ins and outs.
awesome. You're fantastic.
I mean,
Thank you,
I'm going to
guys.
pitch you my Dancing with the Stars off air, but just know
Yes.
that is coming. Where can everyone find you, though, besides on Dancing with the Stars?
Yes, you can find me on socials at Jenna Johnson. Thank goodness it's not Jenna Johnson-Chmerkovskiy. I've saved you all. So just at Jenna Johnson.
You did save everybody. No one would be able to find you.
No.
All right. Well, we are so grateful again. Guys, remember to rate 5 stars, like, subscribe to our YouTube, drop a comment. And normally we end this with have a splash, make a splash. It's like our little thing. Do you mind doing that?
Because
with
we
us?
like splashes. We like a vodka soda with a splash of cranberry.
Cute.
Usually. So we have a splash and you make a splash. So we
Love.
say have a splash, you say make a splash. Here we go.
splash, make a splash.
This
All right,
thing
ready?
needs to go away.
Are you ready? Have a splash.
splash.
Make a splash.
Yay!
Thanks, girl.
Thank you so much.